guys, it's Karen, and I have got a big old haul. There is a lot of makeup and a few amount of skincare items and one conditioner, one hair item. I got most of these items from Boots and Superdrug, so I think I'm going to call it a Boots and Superdrug haul. The only things I didn't is I got this Made by Mitchell thing from, I think I might have got this from TikTok actually, and then I got some Charlotte Tilbury stuff from Charlotte Tilbury Direct, and I'll tell you why when I show you this. I don't think they do Charlotte Tilbury in Boots though, do they? Definitely don't in Superdrug, but Boots has got so many good brands now. When I was in the shop, I was like, wow, this is fantastic. You know, when you're in a big Boots, that is. Okay, let me start with the one hair care item. You may recognise the name. This is the Black Castor and West African Shea Hydrating Conditioner. Let's see if it looks the same. Yeah, it does. It was yellow. But do you remember I used to use this and it was in a different bottle? I think it was in a cream coloured bottle, and I loved it. And then I don't know why I stopped buying it. I think I didn't see it on the shelves, and maybe that was because they're reformulating it. And this is in the section for like curly and afro hair. This is actually headband curls that I've done here. I just put a headband on last night and wrapped my hair around it. And obviously I don't have curly hair because it even says on it, I think, formulated for tight textured, coily and curly hair types. And I have none of those, but it always said that, and I've always used stuff for curly hair and it works pretty well. I think because it's more hydrating, which means you need to be careful that it doesn't like weigh your hair down and everything. But this looks and smells exactly the same. I haven't tried it yet, but hopefully that will be a good one. I like to try and find inexpensive things where you're using them a lot. You know, like with like mascara, conditioner. I feel like there's a video in there somewhere, but things that you're using up quickly, and I use a lot of conditioner. Well, I'll tell you the skincare next. I got this Garnier Micellar Water. I already used the one. In fact, I'm going to get it to compare. This is how bad I am for, I have to start using new things when I get them, and I just abandoned what I was using. So I was using this one, which is very similar, but this one says Micellar Cleansing Oil Infused Water, All-in-One, removes waterproof makeup and cleanses and soothes delicate skin and eyes. This one says all-in-one waterproof also, but it says Micellar Cleansing Water. It doesn't say oil. Even waterproof mascara plus soothes. No rinse, no rubbing, no residue, face, lips, eyes, all skin types, even sensitive. So I don't know what the difference is, because you would think that maybe this was reformulated, but it's not, because this one was still in. There's a big range of these, you know, you can get vitamin C ones and all sorts. But this one was still there, and they're different colours. You know, this one is clear and this one's not. So I don't know. I haven't like looked at the ingredients or anything, but I have used that a couple of times and I am enjoying it as much as this one. It is pretty good. I used that one to get, because it's it's still got that oil and water formula, takes off eye makeup if I'm not removing it in the shower. This is a really good thing to show you, I think, because this is from Superdrug, and this is the Vitamin C Detox Skincare. This is Super Booster, infused with 10% vitamin C and 0.1% ferulic acid. So C and ferulic acid. I'll show you what it looks like. It's just like that. And I bought this. This was $9.99, I remember. And I bought this because I had the weaker version of this, which is $4.99, I think. And it's the same size bottle, but it doesn't tell you the percentage of vitamin C in it. But I took that one. I bought a little mini one of it. You know, in their little travel section, I found a little mini one. And I took that on holiday and used it and loved it. It does have, I think, a fragrance. It's very mild, but it's got a faint tint of orange. Do you know, it's a little bit of a Christmassy smell, actually. And it's the same amount of smell in this one and the other one. So like I said, it probably has got fragrance in it. Well, you know what? This is just a haul, so I'm not going to go into the ingredients. But the vitamin C in it is 3,0-ethyl ascorbic acid. And I've always loved that as an ingredient. So loved the other one. But this one has got the 10% in it. And the difference with this one is it kind of almost feels like it dries on your skin. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. The other one is a bit less like that. And I wouldn't have expected that, because I used to use that from, I'm sure The Ordinary did one, and it was sort of oily, their one. But this one, yeah, just sort of made my skin feel a bit tight. It was absolutely fine once I'd put, you know, my sun cream on or my moisturiser or whatever. But it does just like instantly feel a little bit tight, but not in a bad way, if that makes sense, you know. And like I said, it disappears as soon as you put your full skincare on. But I really enjoyed it so much. The other one, you know, that I thought, oh, well, I'll buy the one that's got an actual percentage in it. So we'll see how my skin feels after using that. Because I've used up my, is it the Geek and Gorgeous one? I think it is. I got the Ordinary Gran Active Retinoid 2% emulsion. I used to use this years ago, but then I did the whole retinol, tretinoin, etc. I still get questions about where to buy Retin-A, etc. But I don't use it. I haven't used retinol or tretinoin or Retin-A or anything like that for years. Quick story, retinol really irritates my skin. Tretinoin or Retin-A makes me peel like a crazy person, despite how slow I did it over 2 years, you know, and how slow I started and all the rest of it. So I kind of went off it. But I've always enjoyed this, and it doesn't, there's no peeling or anything. And I enjoy this as a serum, this retinoid one. I don't know, I'll have to have a look if there's any more research into hydroxypanacolone retinoate, which is what is the retinoid side of this. And I've never looked into any more research. You know, at the time it was sort of a new ingredient. But I just love the feel of it. It's very milky. It feels a little bit hydrating. So weirdly, I'm using this under the next thing from The Ordinary that I'm going to show you. And I've been using this on cloudy, rainy days that we've had where I'm not going out to walk Watson. I normally wear an SPF every single day of my life. But there's just been some days where I'm like, you know what, I'm not leaving the house today other than to walk Watson this evening, say at 6 o'clock normally, when it's dark and it's a cloudy, rainy day and it's forecast to be so all day. I'm not going to put my SPF on today. I just want to avoid putting, you know, too much on my skin that it doesn't need. And so I bought this Natural Moisturising Factors Plus Beta Glucan, which I love. This is the least moisturising of the three, because you've got the Natural Moisturising Factors, this one plus Beta Glucan. And then you've got a third one, which I also have with phytoceramides in, which I think is a great neck cream. But this one is just like a gel. And I love it. I feel like it's really, really fresh on your skin. And I was using it when I had my last tube as a night cream. But I found that just as a night cream, unless I put a serum underneath it or an oil or something, it doesn't, it's not enough. It makes my skin feel tight. So I think obviously my skin is feeling dry at the moment, or dehydrated. And so instead I've been using it, like I said, with this on those cloudy days, because normally this would be my night combination. So I could use it at night, but I'm sort of switching it about. I don't know, I'm not making sense. I need to do an updated kind of skincare routine, because I haven't, with my migraine over the last few years, I've not really paid as much attention as I should, but I'm getting a little bit more interested. In fact, I really want to find this serum that I was using that was, I'm asking you guys if any of you can remember what this was. It was in a clear bottle. It was quite a big bottle, like about yay big. I think it was a Korean brand, maybe Innisfree, I'm not sure. So I'm going to look at that. And I'm sure it didn't have a simple name, and it was just a serum, but I really enjoyed it. And I can't for the life of me remember what it was or where I got it from. So I need to do some research and, you know, look through my emails and whatnot and see if I've got a receipt for something. But I don't know what to put in my search thing other than serum. And that's probably not going to bring anything up, because it's not going to be in the body of it. Anyway, let me know if you know what I'm talking about. But I do really enjoy this, but it does for me need a serum underneath at the moment. And I am really enjoying this as a serum. I could probably use this and no moisturiser afterwards, to be honest. Like I could use that as my night cream and not use anything after. And the last two skincare things I bought was this. I think I'd seen these advertised on TV and was like, yeah, that sounds good. It says it replenishes moisture within 3 days. So I got the Repairing Rich Cream, which is 22% ceramide boosters plus Cica. This is a Simple brand, by the way. And then the Soothing Water Cream, which is 15% skin conditioners plus aloe. I think this is the one I've been, oh no, it's not. I was going to say, I thought that was the one I've been using. It's the 22%. I went for the richer one. You can see how much I've used, actually. I have used quite a lot, because that's the one I've not used and that's the one I have. And yeah, I found that it was working really well. I was just using this on its own. I was saying I was, because as soon as this arrived, like I said, as soon as something new arrives, I'm like, oh, I'm going to try that with this. And I'm going to, you know, I can be a bit mix and matchy. But I did use this for quite a few nights. Really enjoyed it. My skin felt lovely. It feels lovely going on. Yeah, I do really like that one. I haven't tried that one yet. That's everything skincare. On to makeup. I've got some really good things here. I've got some really, well, one really bad thing and some that I haven't tried at all. So I'm really excited because I haven't been excited about makeup, I don't feel like, in a long time, and this has given me some excitement. My lack of excitement is due to this. I mean, the lines and the bags and the dark circles are just beyond, and crazily I'm filming on my phone, which makes it look better. So if you can imagine, it's much worse than this. And I mean, not helped by the fact that I don't sleep the best, although I've had sleep the last 2 nights, so it should look a bit better. But anyway, that I think is what put me off makeup. That, and it's so hard to do my makeup because of this blooming bit in the corner of my eye after I had the blepharoplasty. It's never been the same. But I need to do a TCA peel, which I've got on my list to do this week, and see if that helps. I'm sure it's helped in the past, you know. Anyway, let me show you this first, because this was, oh no, it wasn't this. It was, I got this colour case. I'm trying to remember what I got it for. It wasn't an impulse purchase because I had it, I said I got it from TikTok and I had it in my basket for quite a while. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to try it. And I was like, do I want to try this? Do I not? And I was like, yeah, what am I going to use it for? You know, and I thought, well, I could try this as a concealer. If I've got any blemishes, I could use it as an eye primer. You know, a few things. Let me try it. So I got it, and this is they're very hard. Like, this is not, if you tap your finger in, you're probably not going to get any colour. Do you see that? I've got a little bit of colour, but not much. You get with it, which I've not got here, but you get with it a brush, which is just like a flat concealer brush. And on the other end is a metal spatula. And so the idea is you take it out. And I think the idea is this is for professionals, and you can mix it and you can make any colour from this. I'm never going to do that, let me tell you. I'm never going to be mixing and matching colours. That's just too much work. No, that's a step too far for me. But I got it and I thought, right, what am I going to do? And I used this for so many things. I used, you can see actually what I've used. I've used that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. I've used pretty much all of them. The only one I can see is unused is that one there for some reason. I used the black in my waterline. And I also used it as an eyeliner. I put a little bit of eyeliner thinner that I had, and I used a makeup brush and, you know, did my eyeliner. It's fine as an eyeliner. That I felt that was a little bit too much faff, putting the liquid liner in and then putting it over, you know, my eyes like that. I prefer the felt tip type ones. But as a waterliner, it was pretty good. I need to test it a bit more because I have found another pencil that I'm going to show you that is amazing for the waterline, but this one was pretty good. Then I used the lighter colours. I tried it as a concealer under my eyes and it was terrible, made everything look a lot worse, which is understandable because you have to sort of, now if I'm going to use this, I would have to sort of warm it up. I don't use the spatula. I did try it first, but it doesn't work for me. So you can just warm it up with your finger and then you can get, you know, a decent amount on. But as an eye primer, it's great. It's really good. And what else did I use it as? I tried it as an eyeliner. Oh, the darker colours here, I use as, see how I've got that line under my eyes? I actually used an eyeliner this morning. I used the Too Faced chocolate liner. It's a brown eyeliner. But I used those underneath my eyes and that was fine. It didn't budge, didn't move at all. Used it as a waterliner, that said it was good. And then what I discovered was I've got some light colours of eyeshadow that I don't necessarily love, even in this palette that I'm going to show you, the Naked, I think this is called Half Baked. So like that colour there, I was like, you know what, I'm probably not going to use that colour on its own. So I'm going to try, this is something I've never really done, I don't know why, and I don't know what gave me the idea. I didn't see it on TikTok or anything, but I thought I'm going to try and put a dark base underneath a light colour and see what happens. And it doesn't work the other way around. You know, if you put a light base underneath a dark colour, it just stays dark. But I put these colours, I tried them in, you know, in order of darkness underneath that gold one. And it was so much fun because every day I got a different look. It just turns at a completely different colour. And I really enjoyed that. And I was like, it made some colours of eyeshadow that I liked. You know, it meant that I can use the one out of this little palette. And I really liked the result. So yeah, that was really good. So I thought this was a great palette, and I was like, right, okay, but am I going to use this going forward? What am I going to use it for? Because mostly I like it if I want to change up a shadow, but it's a big palette to have sitting there in case I want to use a shadow that I don't love. I'm happy to use it like underneath my eyes, but I've got other things I can use. But what I was interested in was there was another palette that's called the Brow Sludge Box. And you can see that this is a lot smaller. And I had seen somebody talking about this and saying you can make, what is going on here? You can make all sorts of eye looks with this, and she's saying it's not just for brows, you can use it on your eyes. And so I thought, well, let me get this one because it's a lot smaller. It doesn't have the light colours, so I wouldn't use it as much as an eye primer, but let me have a look and give it a go. And it's a slightly different formula, and it's really nice. Now this is what I've got on my brows, that colour there. And I've had that on my brows every single day since I got this, which was, no, that's a lie, because I've been on holiday for 2 weeks and I took my NYX brow pencil with me because it's just quicker, isn't it, than getting out a brush and dipping it in this. But, oh, I used this one on my brow as well. Oh my God, I'm all over the place. I'm so sorry. I use this one on my brows as well, and it's fine, but because it's that little bit firmer formula, it's a little bit harder to use. This, so easy to use. You know, you just lightly put your brush in and that's you've got product. So I've used that. I also used that one. That one was fine on my brows. I've not really used anything. As you can see, I've used that as an eyeliner. This one is fine as an eyeliner, as in on your eyeline, but it's not great in your waterline. It didn't last in my waterline at all. And the other colours, it's this one that I've used actually, so I've not tested the darker colours. That one is great underneath your eye as well. But I'm just loving that for the brow colour, and it's a shame that I'm not more creative, if you know what I mean. I think I'm not as creative as I used to be, you know, because I was like, I would have worn, I did do a video once with a red brow. I had the one from Kat Von D. So maybe I should try that on my eyes and see what I think. I don't think I particularly loved it. It's just nice, isn't it, to try different things, I think. But I really love the formula of these, and it's a lot smaller palette, so easier to keep in my makeup bag. And yeah, just love that for brows. If you were a makeup artist, and this would be great for doing brows. Really good. So I think my brows are quite light, so you've kind of got every colour there, and especially if you want to mix them. But this one is much more, you know, you put your finger in and you get a good amount of product. So, God, I've only talked about those two. I've got loads of stuff here. Okay, let me continue with eyes and show you my eyeshadow palette. So, I briefly showed you this one. This is the Urban Decay Naked Half Baked. I love these little palettes, and I had seen some online that I didn't have because I've got a couple of these, and I thought, let me go and see it in the shop. And so Boots have got Urban Decay in, which is brilliant, and I had a look and was like, yeah, I think I'm going to love that colour, which I do, but I also love this one. It's quite a unique colour. It's got a sort of shift to it. It's a peachy goldy colour. It's really pretty. I like that on its own, but I also like that under the darker colours from that Made by Mitchell palette. I like this one. This is just your typical kind of gingery colour. And I like their mattes. I really like this lovely creamy yellow colour. Yeah, I love these little palettes. That's my preference. You guys know that. It's always been little mini palettes, so I love that. And I love the fact that I could then use the one that I was like, this is just not, it's too light for me. But with, let me show you actually. Okay, so that's what the colour is like there, and then let me put it over this one and you'll see what colour it goes. Oh my God, it's so nice. Hopefully you can see it. So that's the colour there. It just looks brown there, but you can see on the eyes, it really sort of brightens up. It's not just a brown, you know, it makes it a lot brighter. But you can see the difference in the colours between, that's the same colour, but just with a different base. It's amazing to me. It's just like magic. So yeah, love that palette. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend their little palettes. Like I said, I've got a couple of these. Then I bought another mini palette. This one was a bit mad. I was like, what is wrong with you? What is actually wrong with you? Because it is called the Glam To Go, and I believe this is just a miniature of the Soft Glam palette, which I had and didn't like. I don't think I still have it because I have got boxes and boxes of makeup that I don't use under there. I'm trying to keep it under there so that I can then pull it out and look at it now and again and go, oh no, actually I'll try that again, you know, rather than just being impulsive and throwing it out. Anyway, so it's a palette that I threw out, but I was looking at the colours and thinking, well, you know what, I didn't like mattes back then. It shows you just I should keep stuff because I would still have it then. But this has got 4 mattes in it and 3 sort of sparklies, because I don't really use sparklers anymore. Well, actually 2 sparkles, and then this one is not sparkle. Well, I wore this yesterday, and when I opened it again, in fact, if you're a Patreon, you will have seen it on my Patreon channel, because I did a haul video over there showing this stuff. I opened it and I was like, oh, is this the one I bought? That's not the one I thought I bought. And I didn't know whether it was different lighting in the shop or what, but I was like, didn't appeal to me as much looking at it. But I've used it a few times and I can't say I'm in love with it, but I have enjoyed it. But I really did like that look I wore yesterday with that colour, with that in the crease and then that in the outer corner was really pretty. I thought that was really nice. So I've got a little bit more experimenting to do. I've not used these 2 colours here. I will try this one even though it's sparkly. I'm not really into sparkly as much now. And it actually stings my eyes, which I found out particularly with this next palette I'm going to show you. But I love that cute little palette. And again, I love the Anastasia mini palettes. But I've got, I think if they'd come out in 2, I would have bought the mini palettes probably. You know, but I think I've got most of the Anastasia palettes. Like I love the Norvina one. And what's the other one that I love? These are my 2 favourites. Norvina, which you can see is very dirty, which is beautiful. And the sultry one. Lovely packaging. I know that's weird that there's 3 missing. And I did this because I was like, you know what? Every time I look at them, I'll be like, have I tried that shadow? And I was like, you know, I've tried them a couple of times and didn't like them. So I just thought I'm going to like take them out and then leave the ones that I know I like. And so that's what I did. Makes it a useful palette for me. So I love that. I don't know why I was showing you those other than, like I said, I think I have had that one before. Right, final palette is a fail. And it's this Natasha Denona I Need a Warm. Now, I got the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude, which I'm also going to get. And I loved it. This is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude. And I kept seeing this I Need a Warm coming up. It kept popping up in emails and whatnot, you know. And I was like, oh, I really enjoyed that nude palette. And I didn't know how similar they'd be or whatnot. But what appealed to me was this one colour here. And I kept putting it off and thinking, I'm not going to buy a palette for one colour, like, come on. But this is supposed to be a duochrome colour. It's called Phenomena. That's what it looks like. It's really pretty. Really, really pretty. You see it there. Anyway, I thought, let me have a proper look at this palette so that I can either, like, cross it off in my mind or buy the damn thing, you know. And so I had a look and I was like, oh, there's a lot of mattes in there. Because there's actually 7 sparklies, one sort of, I guess you would say type of metallic, and then 7 mattes. And I thought, well, that's a fair amount of mattes, and I do like mattes. I did love my I Need a Nude, and I was surprised at my I Need a Nude. Let me put them together so that you can see. There we go, so you can see. Yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised with this one and enjoyed more shadows than I thought. The shadows looked really different on my eyes than they did in the palette, so I thought, let me give this a go. I wore that one and it was okay. And I thought, well, there was a lot of fallout. It was quite hard to use. And then I tried, which one did I try next? Is it that one? I've tried these 4, I think. And oh my God, the fallout is crazy. It's not good. It's one of those where, and I remember the first eyeshadow that ever did this for me, and it was the Stila pots. I can't remember what they were called, but they're in a little tube with a doe foot, and it was beautiful, but there was glitter fallout. And it's the same with these, with the sparkly numbers. You've just got glitter all the way under your eyes, and even if you like remove, you know, I was trying to get it off with Vaseline and eye makeup remover and everything, and there was still, after I put my concealer on, I could still see little glittery bits, and I don't like that. So that for me is a fail, because although there is those mattes in it, none of the mattes were amazing. You know, it was like, no, I can get that from the I Need a Nude palette or from other palettes that I have. There's nothing enough in the mattes to make me want to use it. And like I said, the others, that one just looked okay. it didn't look amazing on the eyes, and there was just way too much fallout. So that for me is a fail. The final eye things are these two. I restricted myself to two. They're by NYX. NYX, I feel like, has got more expensive in the last year or so. Let me know if you agree with me, because I'm sure my eyebrow pencil used to be like, I'm sure it was like £7, then £8, then £9, and it's now £10. And I was like, £10 for NYX? NYX to me doesn't feel like a, I don't know, it doesn't feel like a £10 brow pencil. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like the price range is, the price point is right for the brand. It feels like a very cheap brand to me. Anyway, I bought these, and these were £10 each as well. And so I was like, I'm definitely not buying three. But I bought one in, there's quite a lot of colours in these. I'm not going to be able to read that. Where's my glasses? That's like my strap line, isn't it? Where's my glasses? Twisted Tangerine. I've not used this one yet. It's a typical kind of me colour, isn't it? That sort of peachy coral colour. And this one I have used. Pear Prize. I don't know why it says pear. Although I did nearly buy another one that was a more sort of chocolatey bronzy colour, and this one, it doesn't look cool when you see it on my hand, but it was cooler than the chocolatey bronze one that I nearly bought. There's some very similar colours, but I used that one and it is very nice. I love things like this for if I do a matte look, a matte makeup look, and I don't love it, or any kind of makeup look actually, and I don't love it. These are great to put on top. I feel like it just, if they're liquid or cream as these are, it kind of gives it a pop and it changes the colour enough, you know, and that's what I love it for. I like using them on their own as well, but I obviously did a look I didn't like. I put this on top and I really did like it. So yeah, really nice, but I need to play with them a little bit more. That's everything for eyes. Then on to face, and then I'll do lips. Okay, on to face. And I bought this. This is the Urban Decay Face Bond Foundation. I know I said I was going to do a video on this, or I don't know whether I said I will or I might, but I'm not that great at foundation videos, because I feel like ones that are really good, you have to film throughout the day, and that's just not me. You know, I could come and do a video and give you all of the ingredients and tell you what all the claims are and what the reviews are and how I found it. Tell me if you want me to do foundation videos like that, or if you're only interested in ones where, you know, you can see it on the face all day long, close up. I would probably use my camera rather than my phone as well, because I don't know whether this is good enough. I don't have this on today, by the way, but I do love it. I wish it had a twist off top. It's one of these that you pull, and I feel like because you're kind of pressing this to pull it off, you know, you're putting a bit of pressure on, a little bit of foundation comes at the end. And because I do my makeup in the living room, I'm like, have you ever done that where a little bit goes pew? I have done that a lot with a lot of things, and it's normally onto my pajamas or on the sofa, which thankfully I've always had leather sofas when that's happened, or throws on it, you know, because of Watson. But anyway, that's an aside. I do really like this. I do think it lasts really well from what I've seen. I also don't do foundation videos because I don't feel like I can review foundations as much as I could when I was working in an office. When I was working in an office, I would put my foundation on at, I don't know, 6 o'clock in the morning, and you know, I would get home at 5, 6 o'clock, and then I could tell you, well, how does it look? And I would look at it at lunchtime and I could tell you how it looked and how it had done. Now I'm not really, I don't do a lunchtime check. I'm not really looking in the mirror. It's not always needing to last all day, and I'll take it off at, you know, so, but I really like this. I like that it's fluid. I like that it dries quickly, but not too quickly. You've got time to blend it in. And I haven't noticed, I think I would notice more bad things with foundations. So if a foundation went kind of cakey and yucky, I would notice it. If I look shiny at any point, I would notice that. If it changed colour, if it oxidised, I would notice that. If it wasn't the right colour when I put it on, you know, I would notice that. And I haven't noticed any of those things. So I am really enjoying that. And I bought another foundation, which I've seen this. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Soft Matte. That's what I've got on today. I can't zoom in this because this is my phone. If being this close shows you, you know, gives you a good enough picture of my foundation, or whether I need to do it on a proper camera. Because like I said, I feel like this is slightly airbrushed. I don't have a filter on or anything, but I adjust the colours because when I start off, my hair's brown, and my hair is not brown. So I know the colours are different, you know. Anyway, I tried the Born This Way foundation, the original one, And I tried 2 different colours. More than that, actually, because I remember I went in and asked for samples because I said, I can't keep on just buying this foundation, but I cannot find a colour to suit me. And I tried a lot of different colours and couldn't find anything. And so I saw this pop up and I was like, oh, I didn't like the Born This Way one, so why am I going to like this soft matte one, oil control foundation? But I kept on seeing it and thinking, oh, I don't know, I'd like to try it. I love foundations that come like this in a little tube like this with a pump on it. And so I thought, well, don't just buy it off the internet, buy it when you're in Boots and can see the colours. And so I spent ages trying to find my colour. And what I did was my old trick of, I went to the Lancome and Estee Lauder counters and I put on a sample on my hand, a tester on my hand of the colours I used to use when I used to buy their foundations. So the Double Wear, I think I got Bone and put that on, and the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 010 was my colour, and so I put a bit of that on my hand and then went and compared. And the colour I got here is Pearl. It's quite dark actually, because I've got a self-tan on today, but you can see it matches my neck, and obviously I've not got foundation on my neck, but I have got the self-tanner on, so it matches really well. I just had a suspicion that this was going to be a regret. You know, I thought you're going to buy this and you're not going to enjoy it because you don't like Too Faced foundations, even though that Born This Way was the only one I had tried and I didn't like it. I could never ever get the right colour, like I said, but also what did I not like about it? I don't think it ever looked nice on me. It sort of looked cakey. But yeah, I wanted to try this one, and so far I like it. I don't love it, and I did notice, it's going to be interesting to see what I think when I look at my face later to take my makeup off, but I did notice yesterday it looked kind of cakey around here. However, what I've been doing for the last few days is I've only been putting foundation on from my eyebrows downwards for 2 reasons. One, because I've been using my Cephalid device for my migraines a lot, and you have to clean your forehead and then, you know, go over it with alcohol, and then you stick on an electrode thing and put the Cephalid machine on top. So I knew that it's likely I was going to need that because I've had these headaches. And the other thing was I've started using a beanie, and I've got this lovely cream beanie, and I thought, well, if I don't put foundation on my head and I'm wearing a beanie and that's the only time I'm out, it's absolutely fine. And it saves it getting all makeup on it because you can't wash them because they're wool, you know. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because I don't know if that's why it looked kind of cakey here, that it was my lack of blending, you know, because it was sort of an after, I thought, oh, I'm just going to stop there. And I don't know whether I didn't blend it properly, but I noticed it looking a bit cakey. I feel like, and this is something that does show on me, again, let me get close and see if you can see. It's kind of making the line in my chin obvious. Do you see what I mean? And like the foundation, I feel like is breaking up around there. I really like how it looks. I think it looks lovely. And I think this is probably, I probably got the right colour this time, finally. And it feels like a lovely foundation. But I don't think it's oil control because my skin, I definitely had to powder it this morning. And yeah, like I said, I feel like it might be breaking up here. And I only put this on, what is it, 9:45. I put this on at 7, maybe 6:30, 7, something like that. So I don't have high hopes for it, but I do love the packaging and I'm happy with the colour. While I was at Too Faced, I saw this, and then nearly, you know, when you're at the till and you nearly have a heart failure when you see the price of something, but you're too embarrassed to take it back, to go, actually, I don't want that, even though I was doing self-checkout. That was me, because I saw this and I was like, oh, love the little packaging of this powder. It's just a face powder. What does it say? Soft Blur. That was what got me, the Soft Blur. Whenever it says Soft Blur, I'm like, oh yeah, I need that. I got the colour medium, and I've been looking, yeah, I've been loving compact face powders recently. And I just didn't think about how little there is in here. How much is in here? 4.8 grams, 0.16 ounces. It's a tiny amount in here, so it's not going to last very long at all. And I think it was like £31 or something. And I was like, oh, that's a lot. I don't know. I was thinking maybe £21, maybe £22. I'm talking a lot about money in here. I guess I feel like everything's just so bloody expensive at the minute. Not just gas and lecky. Anyway, I've used it a couple of times, as you can see, because it's starting to wear down in the middle, and it's fine, but it's not better than any drugstore ones. So I love the packaging. I think that's probably what you're going to pay for. You know, if you want this, it would be nice to use as a travel one. If I was somebody that was constantly packing and going abroad, I would keep this for going abroad because it's so skinny and small, you know, that you could happily use that. And I bought another powder, and it is a loose powder. I thought I was over loose powders, But I found this in a mini, and a lot of you have been asking me about this actually. It's the Laura Mercier. I think this is also called Blur. Ultra Blur. That really got me. Ultra Blur. You're like, yes, please, I need that. Did I use this morning? Yes, I did. I used this morning on a powder puff. Well, it's not blurred under my eyes, but that's where I love using it. Let me show you. I got the translucent colour, which actually looks yellow there, doesn't it? Let's see if it comes out on my hand. Not really that translucent, is it? It's got a bit of colour to it. I wish they'd have done there's a pink one as well, and I would have got the pink in the small size if they'd had it. They didn't. They just had this one. So I thought it was worth trying. And I'm tempted to get the big one. I really am. And it's actually sitting in my basket. It looked fantastic. And it's a shame because it's on sale, but I'm trying to be a bit more sensible. And I've got so many face powders. And it's like, do I use up those face powders? You know, I've still got number 7 loose face powders that I've had for years. I've used up one recently, and then I've got another one in a different colour. And I've got Revolution ones and all sorts I've got in there. Maybe I should just sort out and get rid of some of them, but I don't really want to throw stuff away that's not been used, you know. So I'm trying to be sensible and use all those powders before buying a big something or other. But I've been using this. I like it on my face, but I especially like it under my eyes. But I can't say I've found it particularly blurring, but I'm enjoying using it under my eyes. I can't explain why. It's not as bad as other powders. Like I've tried this one under my eye and it's terrible. This says it's a blurring as well, doesn't it? Soft blur. And I've tried other face powders like the Kosas one I got. That looks terrible under my eyes. They're not meant for under the eyes, but you know. But so this one it makes my under eyes look like how they are. It doesn't improve them, but it doesn't make them look worse. Hope that makes sense. And finally, onto lips. This is unusual for me because you guys know I normally like a liquid lipstick, but I've been wanting to try other lipsticks and see if I can wear them and if there are any that are kind of long stay. So I found these little lip kits on Charlotte Tilbury, and the only place to buy these particular kits was on Charlotte Tilbury. So I bought, which one is which? I don't know which one is which. I bought the lipstick and lip liner in Pillow Talk Fair, and I bought the lipstick, lip liner and gloss in Original. So what I have on today is the lip liner in Pillow Talk Fair and the lipstick in Pillow Talk Fair, which I didn't even know existed. I have to look at these to find out which is which. They don't look that different there, I don't think. Well, maybe when I see them actually reflected back, they do look a lot different, don't they? But I've got this one on. I've got the fair one on. It's not as fair as I expected. And honestly, today, I think I've done the wrong thing with my makeup, because I think I should have either worn the darker one or a more sort of peachy coloured one, because my eyeshadow is more leaning that way, you know. But apparently I'm past that. I just wanted to wear something that I was showing you, you know. And I do really like this lipstick. I really like that colour. I think that's really pretty. I don't love the lip liner. I know that the idea sometimes is for the lip liner to be darker, but I feel like it's too dark a lot of the time, you know, in these lip kits. And that's what happened this morning. I put it on and I was like, wow, that's really dark compared to the lipstick. And funny enough, that used to be my look years ago. You know, I wore a dark lip liner specifically. Well, it was the look kind of on YouTube, wasn't it? It was a bit of a trend at one point. But now I prefer it was closer coloured, although I don't know, tell me, can you see my lip liner? You know, what do you think? Because like I said, I've got the Pillow Talk lip liner on. Will I get closer to you? It's really pretty. And what I did was blot it. I put it on and blotted it. Let's see if I get... Yeah, see, this is the thing that bothers me. It's going to be all over my cups. But I don't know why that bothers me. It's not too bad. Maybe I should have blotted it a bit more, because now it's not coming off. And it stayed on okay. It didn't last amazingly. Like I had to top it up after a couple of hours. So I don't know what I think. I really like the colours, and I kind of feel like, oh, I think I'd have preferred them in a liquid lipstick, which they don't do those. The lip gloss, I'm not a lip gloss person, but it's okay. I'll put on a little bit so you can see it. It's nice. I think if you're a lip gloss, oh, has that got a mint smell? Yeah, oh, didn't even notice that. I think if you're a lip gloss person, you might like this. Although I don't like the doe foot one, it's weird. I think it's supposed to be a heart shape, but it looks to me more like a toe. It looks like a toe. And it feels weird putting it on. You're like, what in, you know? Yeah, I'm gonna blot that because I don't really like wearing lip gloss because, like I said, my hair gets stuck on it and goes everywhere. It doesn't stay on your lips, does it? Unless you're not drinking. I mean, I suppose I mostly drink out my water bottle, but then it's going to be all gunky. And, oh, no, I don't like that. I prefer my liquid lipsticks. Is that everything? Did I show? Oh, no, I didn't show you my star product. This is my star product. Oh, my God, this is staying in my waterline. Oh, my God. And I'm sure I've tried this before. This is the Wet n Wild breakup proof, waterproof, retractable gel eyeliner. This is staying in my waterline. Now, I've not tried it in my bottom waterline, but I've been putting it in my upper waterline. Not only is it staying, it goes on nice and black, you know, because there's some that may well stay, but you're like scratching your eyelids to try and get any colour from it. And this one, no, it goes on nice. It's not a sharpener in the end there, is there? No, it's a twist up one. But sometimes the twist up ones, there's a little sharpener, you know, that you can sharpen the end with. I don't think you need to do that with this, actually. It's lasting. It doesn't gather in the middle. The worst that had happened is at the end of the day, it's sort of gone to the outer bit of your eye, but it doesn't come off. It doesn't come out in the corners. It doesn't go underneath. You know, it's absolutely perfect. I hope it wasn't a fluke that I noticed it that day, because like I said, with foundations, with eyeliners, I think I notice when they don't work. Like what I did use one and I was like, no, that's not working. I think it was those palettes that I was talking about. Whoops. The Made by Mitchell palettes. Yes, I used the brow one, didn't I? And I was like, oh, that's not working, because within a few hours, it was like all under my eyes. And so I think I would notice if it didn't work. And I noticed on that one day, I was like, wow, that's that Wet n Wild eyeliner that I used. So I feel like I need to run out and buy more of these. It's even better than my Milk makeup one, which is brilliant because this is a drugstore price. And Wet n Wild, I hadn't been looking at a lot of their stuff for years because they stopped being cruelty free and now they're back to being cruelty free. And so highly recommend that. That's everything, I think. Yeah, that's absolutely everything. I'm going to have a piece of gum. We'll have a piece of gum or a cup of tea. I don't think I've got time for a cup of tea. No, because I've got to leave and go and get my flu jab today. That's everything that I bought. Quite a lot of stuff, huh? I hope that you enjoyed that and I will speak to you again soon.